Well, you know what? Since you want to since you want to play offense, I'll go with lizards since they're quite strong defensively.
Okay.
Try and make it hard on you to get through. So let's go with that then. So yeah, these are not my real teams at all. These are just the standard teams from the game, and we're just using these for a training game. The Temple of Doom. Wow. So I'm going to go with 4-minute durations. I hope we won't need them much, but if we want to take some time and discuss stuff, then at least we're not pressed by the game, but rather by our own decisions. Cool. So glad to have you on here, Justin.
Well, thank you.
To those of you who might have missed it, Justin is the guy who built this beautiful overlay for the stream recently, and I'm really happy with that. I think it looks fantastic. Bustahimo also took the time to actually finish this thing on his birthday, so that was really cool. Yeah, we were on Skype for 2 hours, I think. But the end result is really nothing to be sneezed at, right? So if any of you are interested in design work, you can look him up and yeah. So since you would like to learn how to play offense, I'm going to start off with defending against you.
All right.
Let's see what I've got. Block, nothing, nothing. Why is this 1600, 1300 again? 2 blocks, 1 guard, a reroll. Whatever. So, if you're going to be trying to score quickly, you've got some witch elves, so I shouldn't hog the sides too much. I'm just going to go for my standard setup, since it's usually pretty effective in bothering others and keeping my players safe. Something like this. I like to make it harder for people to get assists on here. So this guy is strength 4, obviously. Also got a guard here. So if you want to block him, you want to place an assist here. That's why these guys are there. It does make me a bit more vulnerable to quick snap, but it makes me a lot less vulnerable to line of skirmish blocking. Especially if you're playing as Dark Elves and you lack all guard.
Yeah.
Then facing a line of scrimmage like this is pretty tough, especially with these guys with all 3 have guard. Let's see, what do you have? You block witch? Also not much then.
No.
Oh, your Skype is blocking through. Let's see. She's got leap. Oh, that's interesting. Right. It's all yours. There we go. So let's have a look at the assassin. I don't think I've really seen many of them yet.
This one he gave dodge to, it looks like.
Oh, and you're wrong. Spoil sport, you.
Yeah.
Right. It looks cool. So visually, I like the assassin. This is a little leg dagger there. Yeah, of course, the cape itself. Very Spider-Man. Yeah, not bad. Too bad they suck.
Okay, so here, first question, and it's probably one that a lot of people have, hopefully.
Sure.
But with your lineups, should I start with heavy one side, or like I like doing symmetrical starts?
It really depends on your goals for the drive, right? So with Dark Elves, generally, you don't need to really push one side quickly. You want to spread out your options, see where the ball goes, see where the blocks go down, and then decide which way to go. So often, my plan will be based on who I want to surf on turn 1, which determines the direction where the hole ends.
Okay.
We've got a massive echo thing going on.
Do I?
Well, I'm not sure whether it's coming from your end or from my Skype or something. I don't hear anything over here.
You sound pretty good on my end. Let me check my mic settings.
Cool, thanks.
tools options. Microphone.
So I'm just going to keep talking while you configure these.
Does that sound? Can you still understand me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
And chat, does that sound alright?
So please keep us updated on that if anything changes on the sound quality. So what I like to do with Dark Elves is really keep my options open, because usually if you've got an 8-turn drive, you really don't want to... Right, that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm going to have some trouble with this. Let me see if I can move my mic and pick up a bit less from the speakers. Let's see if that works. Just 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Just meet you there.
I think this would be the time to say we should donate to get Sage here a headset.
Well, the thing is, I do have a headset, but it had these really bleepy artifacts on the. I could just use it for the audio, though. I guess. No, because it's USB and it will pick up the mic automatically. Too much hassle. Yeah, I don't really see a quick workaround with the equipment I have lying around right now. Justin, do you mind doing the questions over chat anyway?
I don't mind at all.
Cool. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Alright.
So I'll talk to you over there.
Alright.
Sorry about that, folks. Definitely should get this fixed. So, as I was saying, we with Dark Elves you really don't need to commit, but it depends on the goals that you have for the drive, right? Well, that's interesting. Fitch Invasion. At least it's a reasonably fair one. A good kick, though. So, if you're Dark Elves and you want to make a 2-turn drive because you received the ball on turn 7, then it becomes crucial to pick a side and advance quickly, because you want like 3 or 4 players in a corner over here. But if you're playing as Dark Elves and you got 8 turns, and you start your 8 turns with 11 players, there's really no need to move the ball beyond this range in turn 1, or to even commit on this side, on that side. Let me see if I have something I can use. Here we go. Work. And thanks for hosting, Hilhelm. For 1 viewer. Excellent. Every little bit counts. Hey ho hum. So what you want to do is of course secure the area around the ball. Set up a screen, because what you know now with this pitch invasion is that I'm going to try and pressure the ball back here. So what you want to do is have a couple of players spaced 3 squares apart. Just you should be focusing on offense right now at all. Welcome, Nixon. And welcome, Hersha. So what you want to do is set up your screen. You might even consider not blitzing at all, although you've got a skink here that you can blitz. So you might want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you want to have a couple of guys screening and 1 guy for the pickup. Yeah, I should have really thought about this beforehand and got my audio set up over over a headset or something. Make sure I have one around next time. So yeah, 3 squares apart is the standard way to do to do a screen with elves. Just means he's got a 1 tackle zone wall all over the place, and you need at least need to blitz one of them before you can get through. Protecting the witch there, not bad. So my goal will be to get a skink back here and really confine these guys, keep them from moving ahead next turn. So you're probably going to want to make a passing play next turn simply to get the ball where it can be safe. Because just by running it's not going to be easy. So you've only got 2 rerolls. I wouldn't do that, to be honest. But nor do you. So I'm just going to send this Croxy Core in here, or not. I was hoping to get some guard and prehensile tail on all of these guys clustered here together nicely. You've got a blodge, so can't really hurt him most likely. Just blitzing in here is probably fine. Nope, too bad. So Dark Elves do running plays really well, right? And they. So what I'm doing now is basically just getting connected to all of his guys, making it hard for him to get a 2-die block. Unfortunately, the Croxy Core is out because he would really help with that as well. But at least I can get my tackle zone on this guy, make it a bit harder for him to get his blocks in. So there's no tackle. This guy's pretty far out here, so I can just get at least 1 skink where it's a bit of a threat. This is harder, right? Because I can't go anywhere around here for fear of getting surfed. So I will need 1 go there in order to not get surfed. Lizards are your least favorite matchup. Well, that's good. I'm happy to oblige then. I'll keep 1 skink in the back for craziness reasons, basically. So now the pressure is on because you need to get that ball and get rid of it somewhere. Let's see how far you can move. You can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the square where your second runner, not that you should ever have one, the square where your second runner is as far as you can walk without go for it. So let's go from the assumption that you want to make a cage here for now. That would mean, oh, so if you pick it up now you can't actually go to that square because it's already occupied. So you might want to consider, so you definitely want to have something of a game plan at this point, right? You want to know where you're going to go, who's going to do what, and what safe actions you can do. Because if you want to cage back here, then of course you can put some players around that place already. If you should roll snake eyes on the pickup, you're better off with a few players down here, like these witches, than having them up front when you lose the ball there. So safe actions that make your positioning better, start with them. So I guess there's a bit of a delay between me talking and Justin hearing me over there. So personally I would have used the block witch for this, because the one you chose is leap, but on a both down she cannot, like here, this is a both down, and that's a non-result for you because you're using the leap girl. Whereas the block girl could have of course chosen the both down and actually gotten an armor roll there. So Lizardmen are a team that is very scary when they're coached right. It's a team where the coach's skill makes a lot of difference, because Dark Elves can be annoying even in the hands of a noob. Chaos that are built well but coached poorly can be destructive against any team. But Lizards are the kind of team that really... Ooh, lucky stab there. Nice. I tend to not be too afraid of assassins, especially with armor 9, because I'm like, yeah, you can stab me, but then I'm still there, and I'm going to bash your head in with your armor 7. But of course they get lucky on occasion. So I'm just trying to see if I can fix the audio part. Oh yeah, Dark Elf gameplay, Dark Elf teaching, don't roll ones. It's tempting to just give up at this point. Let's just activate my proxy war. I'm obviously not going to block with him because it's too important to turn, but I might as well give him his tackle zones back. And
does activate not take a bonehead roll?
It does take a bonehead roll. It just allows you to make only the roll and not do anything.
Alright.
Meaning you get your tackle zones back. And there are times when doing just that is really the best action for a player like this. And let's go pick up.
Oh, I dislike you so much.
Nice.
Nice kick and a nice throwback.
I'm not hearing my soundboard though. Oh, there we go. There's just so much game sound around.
Alright, I kept the Saurus knocked out at least.
Yeah, I did have a haircut. I figured with the new Star Wars coming out and the old Princess Leia being in there, I should do a bit of a tribute.
So,
right.
I had used my luck on my 17% chance to stab.
Yep, that's about right. But at least he's still out.
With assassins, like, I keep hearing mixed, having them and not having them. All I really see is that potential to stab. Like, that's their sole purpose.
Well, the thing is, they've also got shadowing, and shadowing is a good skill, although it doesn't synergize well with having only movement 6. But the funny thing about shadowing is you can't really rely on it screwing with your opponent's game plan, but when it does, it often does so in ways that are much harder to figure out, right? So if you got diving tackle, that's a very good anti-skill, and it can really really hurt you. But at least you can clearly see where it is. You can keep track of it. But figuring out the results of shadowing are a lot more complex, because it also acts on your player getting pushed away from him, which becomes really hard to figure out what happens during a set of blocks. And so shadowing can be fun, so especially when, this is not good. Although, to be fair, with these 3 guys, you weren't really going to block this wall anyway. So one thing you might want to consider if you're planning a drive against a team like this is either you will block the line of scrimmage, which means you want to get as many players over there and get the assists in and overwhelm them, or you don't block them, but in that case you shouldn't be connected. Because right now you've got 3 guys riding on this guy's prehensile tail.
Yeah.
And if you're going to want to disconnect them, that's a lot of 3+ dodges you're going to have to do.
So I should move them to the outskirts of the Saurus.
You really have a choice to make between committing, which means getting 5 guys here and then putting some assists and hoping for good dice, or not committing and then leaving 1 if you're afraid of the blitz, because if they're in tackle zones, then if you leave this guy, all 3 of these are in the tackle zone.
Yeah.
Which means if I roll a blitz, they can't act. That's worth leaving 1 guy for. But the other 2, they could have been here and there, and then they'd be free to move around and assist and do whatever without having to dodge, or even dodge on 3+ because of tail. So that's something to consider there. Let me get my phone back so I can actually read the chat without having to alt-tab again. There we go. So, having said that, I now roll perfect defense, which makes the whole point moot anyway.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing. Still not interested in getting surfed, to be honest. But getting a bit of a forward position. You know what? I'm going to... yeah, this doesn't really threaten me that much. If your guy had been here, then this could have been a surf around back. This must be very confusing for you, because when I say here and I point, you don't actually see me point until like
no.
a couple of seconds
and
later.
I have the audio off, so...
Yeah, exactly. So you only have the direct audio on Skype, not from the stream. Alright. I'm gonna go with this, see where it leads. Wasting a lot of time on our perfect defense is a bit of a bother anyway. There you go, Butterfingers.
Alright. Here.
I'm happy that the audio improved with this way. I might want to consider... So this is a really old and crappy headphones, which means the audio improves for everyone except me. Which I guess I can live with. They also look like shit. I have only one ear working right now. So yeah, I might want to get actually some good audio equipment for myself as well.
That's a what, 83?
So your pickups will be 2+ rolls.
Yeah.
And you don't have sure hands, so you will risk using a team reroll on the pickup. So what I would do is get one person on the other corner. So basically, if you yes, there, exactly.
See, my question, like here, is I have my runner who has dump off, which could be really handy, or
Sure.
I could use the blitzer who's a blodge, which gives me a better chance of keeping the ball if you break the cage.
Well, my reasoning is ideally you want the runner with blodge, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't have that. My reasoning is that you want to use the runner because the ball carrier should be getting blitzed anyway. And the runner has armor 7 and no blodge, which means he's vulnerable. If you choose to carry the ball with a blodger, you're basically not utilizing his blodge a lot of the time. Because it also helps him from getting hurt elsewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas the runner's special skill only helps him from losing the ball if he has the ball and gets punched, which means it's useless to you everywhere else. You'd be running around with 2 runners, that's 2 times armor 7, neither of them doing their job, and the job that they're trying to do, which is standing in a wall or getting out front or stuff like that, is the job that the blodger does perfectly. So personally, I know blodge ball carriers are great, and I try to build my runner into one if I have a runner, but for now I just rely on dump off, or rather make it so you don't have to rely on dump off at all.
Alright.
Okay, good start. So whatever you do, don't run up to a Saurus and stab them, because that really shouldn't work most of the time.
Yeah, no. The 17% blitz doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really not used to thinking in percentages at all. But,
This D2... The 17% would be... well, that's greater than a D6.
I think it's the chance of rolling 10 or higher on 2d6.
Okay.
That makes sense. If you're stabbing, that's what you need, right? Because they're armor 9, you need to roll a 10.
Alright.
And there's...
So do I fill that back corner?
You could. So skinks can get past there.
Yeah.
So it might be worthwhile. It really depends on also how long you have to achieve your goals, right? Right now you still got 6 turns, including this one. which means you're not in a huge hurry. So you can afford to play it safe. If this were turn 5 or 6 and you'd be stuck back here, you might want to get a couple of guys up. So the 17% is exactly 1/6, but it's not because it's a 2+ roll. The reason you're getting that is that on 2d6 the probability of any result depends on the number of ways you can roll that, right?
Yeah.
So 12 there's only one way, which is a 6 and a 6. But there's 2 ways of rolling an 11, and there's 3 ways of rolling a 10. Which means that in total there's 6 ways you can roll 10 plus on 2d6. And there's 36 total results on a 2d6, which means it just happens to also be 1/6. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
I was just trying to minimize my blocks while forcing you to blitz forward.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out.
Minimizing your blocks is definitely a good idea. Trying to make it so that the Croxy Core doesn't mark too many guys at the same time is definitely worthwhile as well, right?
Yeah.
Because now you basically gave me the opportunity to tie down your players.
Because you outnumber me.
That, and because you place these 3 guys next to the line of skirmish to begin with, right? So I could push here, but I'd rather just get an extra blocker. I figured if I knock him down, then I will use the Croxy Core to mark some guys over here. But I'd rather just get the extra block, to be honest. Is this the Leap Witch? It is. Do I have a blocker? I do. Let's block the Leap Witch. Because they're both down is still a result, so the odds of this blitz working greatly improve. Yeah.
Oh wow. And stun.
Stuns are not the end of the world. Let's see if we can add some pressure here. So if the problem you have is with I have a sidestep, that's nice. The problem you have lies with offensive play. I figured let's really
make it aggressive here.
Let's be offensive.
Yeah.
Right. Not that I'm never offensive in my free time. Let's see if we can kill this blitzer. Aw, no pow there. At least get my tail on him and also get my tail on this guy as a bonus. Yep. I'm going to commit all the way.
Alright.
Really get in your face. If this were not a training game, I might actually play this a bit more conservatively, but it's more fun to see stuff happen. So that's an interesting question, Noamto. Elves are great against lizards, especially if they've got leap and tackle, or leap and strip ball, because lizardmen, the skinks don't get general access, meaning they don't usually have sure hands, so strip ball can be really good against them. Also, just spamming blodge sidestep can really frustrate lizards. They can't prioritize a lot of tackle early, as you've seen on this team, and just pushing blodgers around you and having them where you don't want them to go can be really annoying. Skaven lizards can be an interesting matchup because lizards play a very solid defensive, steady blocking game, and Skaven can one turn, which is a huge counter to that. Also, they've got the claw to harm the Saurai if they can get enough strength, right? Because Skaven often lack the guard, so they can get guard locked pretty badly by.
That might be why I really like this situation I'm in now. I don't know how to what do I do from here?
Right. So this Saurus here.
I can't see what you're.
Oh, right. So this Uja-saurus, the block guy in front of your witch. If you can block him off somehow with your lineman next to him, then you might be able to surf this is-toiled
yeah, okay, I
guy.
see what you're saying.
So you need to get a punch on him.
Which would be here.
Yeah, that works. So you want to cancel the assist my sideline Saurus is giving you. What's the problem, Lynn? Oh yeah, that sucks.
And it opens up ball carrier. So the 2 die.
Yeah, how's good?
How is good.
So now you have to see, because your blitz will be a 1 die as it is now, right? Because of this skin.
Yeah.
You could make it a 2 die, but that might also risk your players a lot.
Yeah.
You can't really afford to get rid of that. Yeah,
no.
So this could work, but it's still a 1 die, which is a pity. Oh, no. Well, actually, this is fine. You can just stay there. So now one thing you want to do is make sure your ball carrier can't get blitzed too easily. You've got a bit of a trade-off thing here, right? Because your ball carrier could go on the sideline, but Skinks can always get a half-die blitz in there.
Yeah.
Because they've got Stumpsy. You could put him like 1 to the side from where he is now, but like there, yes. But that would leave you exposed to a blitz from this Saurus here, potentially. Now your under runner could dodge out. Yeah, that could get saved. So that's what I would do. I would put this Harketh guy 1 to the side, and then no, not there, because that way, if you put him there, I can still run around. There's much better, yes. Because if you put him where you wanted it before, which makes sense from the X-Cage perspective, you're actually leaving me a clear path around the outside.
But now you have to go farther to get around him.
Which means I have to dodge, and that's not something I like to do, because it's a 5+.
With the 2 down in the middle, like, is it worth standing them up and dodging them out, or just using them to mark?
I wouldn't stand them up in this case. So if I would use them, I would use them to dodge out, and not just stand up. You've got 12 seconds, so you might want to get a block in here with an assist from one of these guys. Just get a 1 die there.
Oh.
Yes. Good. 1 die block. Nice.
Oh.
And I would also dodge the last guy out, by the way. So you're not marking, but you're screening, which means you're not giving up punches, but you are preventing my mobility.
Yeah.
And that's really the way to play Dark Elves usually.
This is pretty much Skaven. A lot of...
It's a lot like Skaven, except your line rats can't dodge, really, and your elves can. So I really prefer Dark Elves over Skaven. The one thing Skaven do... Well, there's 2 things that Skaven do a lot better. That's 1-turning, which is crucial in real Blood Bowl, but not quite as crucial on Cyanide, because people stall a lot less.
Yeah.
And there's the fact that they don't get that elves don't get claw, because a storm vermin, so a Skaven blitzer with 1 doubles and a couple of normals is a really scary killer already. So I'm going to blitz this guy. See if I can give you some pain there, because armor 7.
And then mark.
So I might, if I would underestimate you, I might mark the ball carrier, and for learning purposes, I might do so as well. Hey Hunter, good to see ya. So now I'm putting him here not because I think it's wisest, but because I think it's interesting for this game. I'm also putting this guy up for the same reason, just to try and give you some interesting options to work towards and some risky risk-reward considerations, basically.
Alright.
So let's give this witch some friends. This guy can go here. Yeah, that looks good. So unfortunately this is the witch with Blodge. So even if both down wouldn't be a result there. Alright. So now you've really got some options, right? So cool, thank you, nurse. So what you might want to do is, what I would do in this case, is try and surf this Xatsa, it's turn 5, so you want to start having touchdowns in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah.
Because you've been screwing around in the backfield a lot, not in the least part due to your dice. But you want to have like one of these guys, Noroleth and Silbior, considering running around. So if one of them can get an assist and then a 2-die block on the Saurus, then the other can start moving around and make some actual yards forward.
Which guys were you saying?
So the 2 guys near the Saurus to the right.
Oh, yeah.
If you can get an assist on them or on that Saurus, then one of them can have a 2-die block with block. So you could use her actually. That's alright. And the other one can do the surf thing. Yeah, that's what I do.
Alright. I think I did what you were saying because I still want to blitz with the other one.
Exactly, so this is fine. So one of these 2 guys would block that Saurus, hopefully get him down. Ooh, that's a pity. Yeah, so you might just have to run around back now, which is actually not going to get you very far.
Not at all.
So if you had blodge, you could risk something or cut a few corners here and there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dark Elves really need blodge like nothing else. Oh, no, that's not good. Now, I was thinking of surfing the other guy, actually. The Xatsa, the one marking your ball carrier.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can blitz with the witch. No, not there. Right, so you need another assist somewhere. Yep. And then if you blitz with the witch, you can put him in a square where the ball carrier can surf him.
Would it be worth stabbing? Like, I don't see...
So the question is, what would you do with your stabber if this succeeds? Would you stab or would you run away? If you would stab, you might as well stab now because it's exactly risk-free. It's one of the few things you can do in Blood Bowl that has an outcome that is risk-free.
Okay.
The problem is it usually does this, and then you're stuck standing there. But if you're going to try anyway, you might as well try it at the beginning of your turn, because if you fail something, then you've missed out on a risk-free action. So this is good. You need 2 pushes. Ah, that's a pity. Don't reroll that.
No.
So now the question is, where do you go with the ball? And you really need to free up some people to make some moves, right? You need to spread out a little, make sure you're everywhere.
Where do I move my rusher? She still has 4 spaces.
Yes. So that's true. That's the immediate question. But the reason I'm asking the other one is because they inform each other, right?
Yeah.
So if you're planning for your ball to move behind this guy, your other runner, then you want her to form a screen with him. So one more to the side. Yeah, right. Because if you put her there and you move your runner behind the screen, then suddenly, or you don't need to go that far. You can just go one behind your other runner.
Like here?
Yeah, that works. That works well.
I'm always in that X position. So the 2 middle spaces would have been the immediate.
Yeah, so the thing is, if you're going to be running away with this guy marking the Croxigore and the other Saurus, then this becomes a hole, right? Mm-hmm. Next to your witch is a lane that I can get through. And by being where you are now, those 2 guys are enough to screen you off. If you had been next to the witch, then you would need a 3rd guy to screen with, leaving you fewer guys to put pressure forward. So what I would do is I would consider a 1-die block on the Saurus, just because you have these 2 guys next to him anyway. Probably with the Blitzer because of block. You've been struggling with your cognitive neuroscience. I actually can... Oh, timer! Damn it. So we've been talking so much that you're now in a huge rush. You've got 4 seconds. Good luck with that. I guess the talking is really what they're here for anyway. So what I would have done, if you had had the time, is dodge this Anmael guy out and connect him to the skink. Because putting your strength 3 onto my strength 2 players is a good way to force me to either commit to them or dodge away.
Yeah.
So, let's see, I don't have a lot of block, but I do have block on this nice little assassin here. And behold, it is good. Still won't be stuck. So I'm just gonna go be an idiot and stand this guy up to give you the opportunity to do some more surfing shenanigans. Hope you don't mind that. I'm also considering the clock, so because your main objective will be moving ahead quickly now, I will be blitzing the guy who's most forward positioned here.
Yeah, the scoring threat.
Exactly, the scoring threat. Just to keep you a bit more encapsulated. Sidestep here is good. It means that if he doesn't go down, you can't really get through easily.
You doubled up, so I couldn't get the 83% dodge there.
I don't quite get what you're saying.
You moved your skink over one, so there was the 3 spaces between them, so it was double.
Yeah, exactly that.
I notice a lot of people when I'm playing on my Skaven that they'll leave the singles corner.
Right, so if the skink had been 1 back, then you could have just dodged through on a 2+ dodge, and now you need a 3+. Is that what you're saying?
Now I need to make 2 dodges.
Yeah, and the first one is into a tackle zone as well. Yeah, that is really key in playing defensively. It's also the basis of this whole column defense thing, where you put like one guy here, and then one guy here, one guy there, and then one guy there. That's not actually the wisest thing for me to do right now, but just as an illustration. So if you've got this column, and you've got it 2 layers deep, then even if you blitz one of these guys off, you're still going to have to dodge into a tackle zone, and then out again.
Yeah.
That's a really, really safe formation. And I think it's the staple maneuver for coaching Dark Elves. It's getting into the position where your opponent just cannot run past you at all. So that's not a bad start. I would consider blitzing this guy off, the Saurus off. With either a witch or something. Because he's really more in the way of your moving ahead than this skink is. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if this Saurus is gone, he can move more easily. So the prone blitzer. But so can the other blitzer and the witch herself. So getting that Saurus out might give you a couple of extra yards down here.
Yep.
And your other witch can actually provide an assist on that Saurus with a 2+ with reroll. Yes, like that.
Oh.
It's a 3+. Sorry about that.
No, I wasn't thinking the prehensile tail either. So which would...
Oh, that's bad, yeah. Yeah, this is good. So now you can really get some miles on at least your witch, and probably this guy who's doing the blitzing as well a little.
Way.
Yeah. So one thing I always try to keep in mind is that when you're considering marking players, you want to be next to the prone guys, not necessarily the standing guys. So if you have the option of pushing a guy who's going prone next to your player, or into an empty square, you push him next to your player, because that way he's automatically marked when he stands up. It becomes a bit more complex when they don't go down, because then of course you have the option of do I want him to be marked, but have the option of blocking me? Or do I want him to be... Oh, no, move first.
Yeah.
So, this pass is pretty risky.
It's what, 33% chance with reroll? I mean, it's 2+2+.
It is 2+2+. I'm more worried about what you're going to do with the ball afterwards. So I would usually...
Well, no, because your skink should still get there.
Yeah,
so I would have a cage, but I left him unmarked, which means I have an issue.
Yeah. So I think at this point, now that you're committed to standing all the way over here, pass might be the best thing. Personally, what I would do was get the receivers out front in a risky spot, but keep the quarterback, if you will, the thrower, somewhere over in the back, screened off, safe-ish, so that you can make your passing play on the turn when you're already in scoring position.
Yeah.
Rather than relying on your passing play and then standing completely exposed with your best player for a turn.
Yeah.
So the getting into position is something that doesn't have to happen with the ball. You can just get into position first and get the ball there later.
Yeah, I that's one thing I need to get into the habit of.
Cool. Right.
Which here, like we pointed out, I have the down source I left unmarked.
And
then I have everybody over here, which leaves
And
me...
the thing is, you know, if I can get 2 skink assists, then my skinks can get 2 dice on the witch as well. Now, they don't have block, so they need a POW. But I could even just choose the both down, and you'd also still be in trouble. I'd have a turnover, but I'd have skinks on the ball, and you'd have a potentially dead witch.
Yeah.
Also, mind your time, by the way, 45 seconds. So I would just move the witch anyway, since you're pretty much already committed to that line of action, and she's just going to have to hope for the best. Now what you can try to do is mark as many skinks as you can. So you still got this 1 die on the source down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's... Ooh.
Oh. Now do I re-roll that or not? Last re-roll 3 turns.
Last re-roll 3 turns. Tricky one.
Nope. That would be a no.
Yeah, no.
Ooh. Maybe should have been a yes.
So the problem here really is that your chances are you're going to need that reroll, right?
Yeah.
And if you had the opportunity to save that player for sure, or sorry, to protect the witch with this turn for sure, then I would take it. The problem is everything that you were going to do in the rest of this turn was going to be patching holes and making do.
Yeah.
Rather than getting secure with a high probability. So standing the assassin up might have helped, since it would have marked this guy. But he's not blitzing the ball. Neither is he, I guess. Well, maybe.
You could actually get a 2 die.
With a Saurus.
Even with your skinks.
Yeah, so with the Saurus I can't really because of this guy. But I can get a 2 die with skinks quite easily. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's get a sidestep skink there. That seems like a good idea, no matter what. This Saurus is just going to mark your blitzer here. That looks like fun. I've got a block, might as well try against the blodge guy. Nope. Let's see. Can I get a POW here? So now the intuitive thing would be, okay, let's roll that POW. But really you want to think, okay, suppose I fail right now. Where do I want my players to be? What do I want them to do, right? So for instance, these 2 guys still have this 1 die. I don't like that. I'm just going to put him here. That way this is no longer a 1 die until he stands up, and I'm really keeping them...
They're stuck.
Keeping them stuck, exactly. Sorry, I'm just responding to looking at my chat as well. So now, this guy is not really in a great spot. I could move him and say, okay, he needs to defend around here for next turn. However, suppose I blitz here and I roll a POW. Then your witch lands next to the sideline.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to. I could put her somewhere else, but I will put her there, I think. And
that gives
if
you
she
the
goes
chance
down
of going
there,
out of bounds.
it could go out, and it might land somewhere where only this skin can reach well. And so that's why I'm not acting with him yet, even though I'd be tempted to. So let's see if that happens. Hunter, I definitely like having a... yeah, that's worth a reroll. It's my first. There we go. Follow that, because she's got jump up and 1 assist is not enough. Eee, that's nice. That is very nice. So now I can move this guy. I can go here. This is probably a good time to make this dodge. Yes. 3. Very minimalistic rolling. So I'm not quite safe. I could be safe if it weren't for the fact that she's got jump up. So she can jump, the witch can jump up block this skink on the corner there. and even with only pushes, she can open up the cage that he pretends to be a corner of. Although, no, not with just pushes, because he's got sidestep. Well, we've got some blocks here, might as well give them a go. Yes. So now this is really, really effective, right? Because I've got one Saurus marking one guy, so you don't get a one-die block there. And I've got the other Saurus marking two guys, but they're both prone, so they don't get to do any actions rather than stand up or dodge out. And the Croxigore is good at making a fool of himself. So Hunter, as for your question, I don't mind throwers. Some people really think they're bad. I don't think they're that bad. So I would personally jump up block here with that witch, Justin.
Well, it's actually, she has leap, which gives me a blitz on the ball carrier if leap succeeds.
Right, so in that case, you don't really need to dodge at all. You just need to mark these two skinks.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at and how to go about it, which would be...
Personally, so what I would do if I were you, because she's got leap but no block, right?
Yeah.
So you could do the jump up block on this skink, and you've got 4 dice in which to roll a POW. And if that succeeds, then your blitzer there, Seer Brior, can actually run around blitz and hit the ball carrier with block.
And that takes less.
Way better odds.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require you to make this 3+ leap thing. Right, so how can I foil that plan? This is a block action, so I'm going to be really annoying and go down here. Ooh, but you've got your KO, which helps. So you're still in the way yourself, though. Which is a pity, because Frenzy forces you to follow up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, exactly that. That would be what I do. Is there something I would do before that, though? Because you always have to think about these things, right? Like, is there something I can do that's both safe and... So in this case, marking this Saurus is a good idea. Marking Uzjia, the one next to your 2 prone guys. So I would stand up the lineman there. No, not necessarily the witch, she needs to act. But the lineman who's lying there, he has no other role, exactly. I would leave the assassin for now, he can dodge out later if you want, after you've done the important bits. Also, this other Saurus, having an assist there means you can block him later, which is nice. So standing up that assist is also pretty safe, since it's what you want to do if you fail and what you want to do if you succeed. So you might as well get it over with.
And am I bringing this other witch elf to mark one of the other skinks?
I wouldn't, because she's also one of your best candidates of scooping up the ball after you knock down the skink.
Okay.
If you roll a power or both down, the ball is going to land in at least 1 tackle zone, and it might mean you have to have a lot of dodges to make. And the witch has the dodge skill, so that also helps. There. Success.
Good success.
So, obviously I can't ask you, Justin. There. See what I mean?
Yeah.
The witch is really the... So, you have to think about where does she go with the ball afterwards, right? What does she do with it? Can she get rid of it somewhere? She does have blodge, so she can just keep it in her hands if you want. But this is your turn 7 also, so you need... Well, you've got 2 guys in touchdown range.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit risky.
Over there.
You could even consider handing off to the other witch. It's another 3+ dodge, which is not ideal. But at least it gets the ball forward, and it will be much harder for me to stop that witch now.
Yeah.
Because you've got these guys around her now.
You wouldn't be able to mark her with the 2 die with skinks.
Well, not easily anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's go for that. Oh.
So far so good. Yeah, dodge skill made it free. And hand off to the witch. Oh, yes, you want to reroll that.
That's where I
didn't need me to tell you that. Well, it's good, right? Because you've got dodge, so she's safe. Don't unmark that Saurus.
No.
You might be tempted. This one, I would now dodge with. You were planning a block before, but now it's... So I would put him 1 square north of the other skink, actually.
Right there?
So this skink, Zlatsa, just one square north of him. That's probably south for you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, right here?
Yes, exactly. That's because I'm used to playing on Fumble, and there you actually have the same north-south perspective as your opponents. So this assassin can dodge out. You want the assassin on a skink.
Would it be better for the GFI? Or I could pull him, because that Saurus is not too much of a threat, and I no longer have
right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because you've got the dodge skill, and it's safer. Also, so you've got no-go and a dodge skill. Whereas the assassin... Oh, he's also got dodge. Ooh, and time, yes.
Yeah.
Time's the thing. Right. So one reason you want the assassin on the skinks is just to get a shot at shadowing.
Oh, shadowing, that's right.
Yeah. But shadowing against movement 8 isn't that great to begin with anyway. So first order of the day is for me to get my tail onto some of your players. So I can get a 1 die pretty easily, and I basically cannot get a 2 die at all on your witch. Oh, that should have been the sidestepper, of course. Made a little mistake there. So when I say pretty easily, I mean involving some 3+ dodges, obviously. Still skinks. So I could do it with 1-2 dodges here, or 2 dodges here, that doesn't matter. Let me just make some blocks, because I like blocks. Because the thing I'm trying to do over here is so risky that even these risks, while they seem pretty bad... who received? Let's see. Bastahimo received first.
Yes,
and then received again.
Double ones early for the turn 2 touchdown for you.
Yeah, that was a bit silly, especially with that deep kick and stuff. So the problem is I don't really have anyone to pick up the ball with if this should succeed. But then I really need all the skinks to do their thing there. So let's see. Dodge out, go around here, blitz. So far so good. 1 die. So if this were a both down, I wouldn't reroll. But a skull I can roll again. Yay! So this is looking pretty promising, right? Wait, think about this. You've got 1 turn. So you don't want to blitz the sidestepper with a witch, that's for sure. But you could actually... No. So you want to blitz this Classor skink with someone who has block, I think. Oh yeah, she works. That's even better. Yeah, because
that can actually clear the tackle zone.
Yeah, so even if you roll 2 pushes... Ooh. So if you break it, it's fine. Yeah, KO, good. If you were stunned there, he might actually be a problem for you.
Yeah.
So now you've got a clear path. All you need to do is not snake. Oh, so if you want to make this block, make sure you occupy this square that I could sidestep to, right? So move your runner. Nope, not with the witch, obviously. Yeah. So you move your runner over there. That way, if you make this block and all 3 are push-ish results, I still don't get to go into your way. But no need there, though.
Yeah. So you are now just out of my way.
Exactly.
And I get to risk it for the biscuit.
So it seems like the... I'm getting a lot less of the Soundplant soundboard thing over my headphones. Maybe it's just right center or something. So I'd just like to check whether everyone on the chat is still hearing the soundboard pretty well in relation to the game's audio and stuff.
So you're still 2 down, 1 Saurus, 1 skink, and I am missing a runner.
2 down? No. I think I'm up actually.
Are you?
Oh, that way it's 1-1. So.
Oh no, yeah, you had extras. Did I have a sideline?
Oh no, I didn't have extras. It just meant I'm up as in going well in terms of touchdowns. It's a matter of perspective. So basically, how I always represent the game is I have the expected value is that I score on my receiving drive, and you score on your receiving drive. Yeah, so the soundboard appears to be gone-ish. I'm not sure why that happens. So I hear it very, very mildly now in relation to Skype and stuff. I'm not sure why.
Other linemen? No, I do not.
So if you want to defend against a one-turn touchdown, you don't want these three guys in the middle to be stuck together.
Yeah,
you want them to be apart.
Put them at the corners?
Yes. Also, you don't want your blitzer there because they die.
I have no other linemen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's the problem you have with Dark Elves if you choose to run with an assassin and with two runners and stuff. Yeah. Linemen aren't really bad to have around.
Blitzer or lineman, or blitzer or the assassin on the LOS in this situation.
So if this were really your team and you would be considering building them onwards, I would say put the assassin there, let him die, don't rehire him. That would be my advice. Given that you're playing this only for this one game, I would just stick the blitzer there because armor 8. And the assassin isn't bad against skinks, you know. So I'm going to try and see if I can one-turn this because, well, it's more fun than... Yeah, there can be a very legitimate reason not to, right? Because it still takes up resources. I could get a lot more blocks in if I would not bother with trying to one-turn.
Yeah.
So let's say I don't have sidestep. Oh, I do have sidestep. Yeah, that helps a lot. That makes things so much easier. So let's see. I want to blitz from here. Put in there. Go here. Yes. Okay. So this is really just extra. Need someone strong back here for that second block. Who goes here? There, this works.
I know in my experience, like the reason I dislike Lizardmen as much as I do is simply like they seem, at least at rookie level, to have a crazy advantage over everybody else.
Well, yeah, but you know, they start without any block. They get 2 dice everywhere, but they also have only 2 rerolls. And no block, which means they run a lot of risks too.
Yeah.
And skinks, they're fast, but agility 3 is not very safe. They don't get to start with sure hands or have access to sure hands, so yeah, they're a great race, but they're not too overpowered. In low team value, Orcs versus Dark Elves. I would favor the Dark Elves. But I might be somewhat biased there. Let's see how this goes. So I need to make 3 pushes, which is not easy, but sidestep helps. Oh. Well, there goes that idea. Actually, no, we're still...
You're still in, I think.
This Saurus can't block, but this one can. Yeah, I might still be in. I might have a bit of a long pass there afterwards though. But let's just see what the pushes go. Yeah, let's reel that. Turn him for that sucks. So no dice. So this is what I mean with giving up a potential advantage for an attempt at a one-turn. I'm only blocking 2 guys now and wasting my reroll on getting rid of a POW, which is obviously not ideal for a bashing perspective. So if your odds of getting a one-turn touchdown in are really low, and you're giving up a lot of good blocks to get it, it might actually be better just not to bother with it. But generally, it's definitely worth it, especially when you've got movement 8. Your odds become quite acceptable. I can't get a source pass. I don't care about star player points in this team. What I can do, however... Did you say you put a blitzer on the line of scrimmage there? Here we go. That's a blitzer, right? Well, it was until...
You rolled it. No.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Aww. So what I was saying, I tend to represent these games as a sort of status quo, where I make 1-0 in my half, and you make 1-0 in your half, or 1-1. So the fact that I got to score in your half, and that we're now tied at halftime, and I'm still receiving, feels like I've already got half a win in the bag. Now, in the second half, I merely need to play status quo, so to score my touchdown without you scoring yours, and I'm already... done with the game.
Yeah.
So either having your opponent fail to score or being able to score in his half, either one of those should be enough to get the game if everything else goes according to expectations. So normally with Dark Elves, if you're defending after a 1-0 half, you've got the luxury that you don't need to take the ball from the opponent. You just need to stop him from moving ahead. And that's where that column defense stuff comes in.
I'm missing a...
Yes, you are.
There's one just disappeared.
Yeah, there's a runner badly hurt. But you really need to scroll very far and zoom in a funky way to see that position. Bad design on Cyanid's part.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was missing a lineman. Like, he was blending into the symbol.
Okay, you were missing someone else. Yeah, that happens.
Okay. What do I have here?
So, defending, you definitely don't want too many players on the line of scrimmage, although Cyanide seems to think you do. Where they come up with this stuff, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I had just brought them, went into a pre-made, so they were all up here and I could move them.
Right.
Yep, not right.
So what I would do, especially against a team like Lizards, is actually get quite spread out. Because you're forcing me to put my players everywhere and get spread out myself. Lizards play a very centered game, very much focused on the line of scrimmage, focused on lots of blocks. And by putting your 3 players with 2 spaces between them on the line of scrimmage, you're forcing me to spread out, which means I'm already playing more your game. Yes, I am coaching Sansab. Bustahimo here asked me for some advice, and I figured I'd do a coaching game here. And also I figured I owe Bustahimo one because he made this brilliant overlay that you guys see.
Right, so something like that? Like I have kind of down, so I'm not sure.
This could work. So let's see, you've got Blitzer with Blodge. So once they have Blodge, they can actually stand in front pretty well. So you've got your armor 7 behind, that's good. Your assassin is a victim, but well, yeah, they are.
That's kind of his point.
Yeah. So personally, I prefer to have my guys more in the middle, because that prevents the opponent from taking the middle. If you have your guys, yes, so like that, exactly. Just have these 3 guys that are. It also means you have fewer vulnerable players, right? You can put this blitzer on the line if you want instead of the assassin.
The blodge or the block?
Oh, you're running out of time. Yeah. So what I would do is I would put 3 players like here, here, and there.
I can't
at
see
the screen.
That.
No, but you can see it afterwards, I guess. And then have a couple of players. And you have to remember, I'm coaching the whole chat and not just you.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's I can't see your example, and I didn't have the stream on, so.
All right. So I would put 3 guys up front to just screen off, and then 5 guys behind that who can get safe.
All right.
Who are valuable. As I guess you've seen me do a couple of times already, so you can probably visualize what I'm talking about anyway.
Yeah.
And what that does is it does two things. On the one side, it means your 5 guys, your rule of 5 guys, are safe. And on the other hand, it means that your opponent cannot blitz through the middle. They can't just stand there and cage in the center. And the way you had set up, I could have just marched up the front and stayed in the middle, which is, for lizards, is really not bad. So that's the reason I wouldn't go with that.
Okay.
So what the position that I do uses, it basically forces your opponent to choose a side early. They can't afford to just hang back and do both because you can defend anything. So you're forcing them to choose a side, and all of your players are in the middle, which means they can go to either side in one turn. Whereas if you spread them out more, it seems like you're defending all over the pitch. But what happens is your opponent blitzes one guy down, he marches along with half his team, and you've got half your guys on the wrong side of the pitch, so you're actually allowing him to determine which of your players can be useful. Whereas if you've set up in such a way that all your guys are in the middle, then then you're able to react to whatever he wants to do and put all your players in the right place. So it gives you more freedom to act because your players are not yet committed to a flank. Right, some other questions. How do I play against agility teams? Blocky, bashy. Get as many 2-die blocks in as you can. Skill up a mighty blow, tackle, blitzer ASAP. That's how I play elves against elves. I mean, it's nice if you've got a strip ball or stuff like that. Thanks, Killer Rock, I'm glad you like it. This was a bit risky, right? I was making 2-die blocks with no block and playing it loose because this is one of the few games where I don't care about winning as much. So what you want to do in situations like this is just secure the ball before you start making blocks like that. So that was a bit sloppy. Let's see. I can actually afford to make this a complete X-cage with skinks before I even try to pick up. That's pretty safe. And then I can do some blocks. So this guy's going here. Since I've already used my reroll, the Croxigore is now actually safe because his loner doesn't matter and his 3-die does. No good. Here this guy's got blocks, so that's also safe fish. There. So now again, as you might have noticed, and this is no accident, I've again got one guy here, one guy there, one guy there. So this 2-space separation thing. Ideally I would put this guy here, but then the witch would be able to surf him, so that's no good. So I'll have to settle for here instead, which also screens off this side, also makes it harder for you to just get through. Actually, here's better, because otherwise it's still only a 2+. So this helps screen off this angle without being a surf threat. There we go, pick up the ball, come on, yes. Okay, it's good. So as for the question how to play against other agility teams, stuff like leap, wrestle, tackle, strip ball are crucial, but more importantly, mighty blow, tackle. Having enough tackle is really important. So you want to... Didn't I blitz? Oh, must have been distracted talking. Sloppy. Getting enough tackle and making sure that your team is capable of dealing with those teams is of course the first step. It's and it really depends on your environment. If you're playing in an environment where there's lots of blodge, getting tackle is crucial. If you're playing in Cyanide and every other team you face is Chaos anyway, you can get away with not taking so much tackle, and then elf games will hurt.
So in this situation, am I looking to pressure the ball, or am I looking to kind of close your gaps?
I would put at least one and preferably 2 guys behind this layer of Sauron, just to be able, just so that I can't hang back if I wanted to.
Okay.
So that's a fine start, really. Yeah, the Blodge Witch is fine to move ahead. I would keep the Leap Witch behind for blitzing the ball actions, right?
I assume I want to close this gap over here.
Only if you plan to blitz that guy, which
yeah.
is not bad anyway.
Which I'm actually going to put her there, because I don't want
That's
to
fine.
frenzy him.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, I'm blitzing with the wrong guy, but...
Didn't matter.
I don't think I have a preference here.
I would just push to the side, really. You're not going to go around there anyway. And it does limit my options more. Because if I'm lacking for movement, it's movement toward the left with this guy. He can get as far to the right as he can anyway.
Okay.
The best team to kill Chaos and still win. Well, do you want to kill Chaos or do you just want to beat Chaos? Because, well, to kill Chaos, the best team is Chaos. But these guys are just conceding anyway. So they can't be killed because Cyanide is stupid. Ouch. Good insulted.
I think I spread out a little too much here.
So the thing is, you've got this
I already closed off
thing.
the right. I should have watched the center better.
Exactly. So you've got 4 guys covering an 8 square area of defense, right?
I should have put 2 or 3 spaces between them, not 2.
Exactly. If you got 2 empty spaces between them, so there's 3 there, every third square has a player, then they're much more efficiently organized, and you could have gotten a much denser defense.
Yeah.
I would take Blodge on a couple of Dark Elves before I get tackle.
I realized when I was making that last dodge was where I had pretty much given you the middle back.
Yep. Well, at least you've given me a place to run through.
Yeah.
Let's see how far this game can get. They can't quite get past this, right? So it's not a terrible disaster in that sense. Which means I'm still going to cage on the other end. So I don't want to cage around this guy, obviously. So I'm going to have to cage closer. Ooh, Bonehead. That's a pity. Because now he's in the way himself as well. I'm just going to put him inside my cage. That way he doesn't bother me too much. Just pretend he's not there. Actually, can I get all my skinks in there? No. Not really. I can probably get a couple in though. Sidestep guy can go here and be a bother. You guys can make sure that dodging in there isn't actually suddenly easy again. So I am now within 2 squares of your Leap Witch, which is pretty annoying. And my guard Croxicor doesn't actually help protect the skink there either. I can follow the Splitzer. That might be nice. Could have really ganged him better, but... So this is a bit of an alternative way to configure your cage, aside from this guy. But it still works, right? Because every square around the skink still has 3 tackle zones on it. The one with the Croxigore needed an extra. That's why the skink is here. Otherwise it would be 2 tackle zones because it's boneheaded. But formations like this can still protect your player, and it can also protect some extra players. This is especially useful when you're playing as goblins, for instance, because they'll often want to protect both a ball carrier and a chainsaw and you can just elongate your cage by 1 square, and it will be as effective, but protecting more players. Yes, so Noamto, I agree. My reasoning was related to defeating chaos with the teams that are on this game. And yes, dwarves and orcs kill chaos at low team value. They can get more mighty blow and guard, sure, that's definitely true. The problem is, if your chaos are built well, they will have a couple of guys with a couple of skills and one guy with a lot of skills. They'll have one beastman who... So what I do if I want to build optimal chaos, the first guy who skills, usually a beastman, usually with 2 touchdowns, he will get mighty blow as first skill, and every turn after that he will be the one blitzing. Which means he will need POWs against blodgers, he will need POWs against guys who just dodge. He won't be able to use both down at all, well, unless he's fine going down himself, but he will just make all the blitzes and roll all the damage. As a result, he will skill very quickly. So you'll get a mighty blow, then claw, then block, then tackle, or you can switch around the orders a bit, but starting off with mighty blow really makes a lot of difference. Because that way, if you build them, by the time all 4 of your Chaos Warriors will have block and guard, this one beastman will have claw, mighty blow, piling on, tackle, block, and maybe even jump up or something, you know? So, building them that way, you really only need the one killer.
I didn't do my blitz action.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that happens.
I need to get into the habit of it. I don't use leap ever. And now I feel really silly because she's staring at the skink, telling him.
Yeah, it's well, I guess you just have to leap, dodge blitz now. Which isn't bad, it's a 5+. Too bad you still have this counter assist though. That's also one thing about a cage formation like this. Because these guys in the middle are safe, it's also very hard to cancel their assists against the...
anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's gotta hurt. So yes, I do tend to give Mighty Blow before block. However, I really don't want to teach you guys how to play effective Chaos because there's already so many Chaos out there. I'd rather there weren't any effective ones on top of that.
Yeah, this is not a pretty place for my... What is it, Witch elf to be? Well,
she's got an opportunity to frustrate a Croxicore here. She was the leap one, right?
Yes.
But I don't have any block to blitz her with. No, I do. I might be better off just blitzing this guy.
I forgot to do that blitz action before leaping. Makes me feel like an idiot. Ugh.
Let's try this. Nope.
It still leaves you with a small gap there.
Yeah, I don't need a big gap. I mean, we're skinks, we can manage. So I'm putting these guys in a position where they can be surfed in theory, but that requires a lot of hassle on Buster Humo's part.
It takes a devotion to surfing.
Sorry?
Well, if I decided to surf, that pretty much would guarantee
would be the
that
only
you're gonna
focus
score.
of your turn. Yeah, exactly. And even then, it would be a hassle, and you would be looking at a lucky 1 die at some point.
Yep.
It's really not what you want to base your whole turn plan on if you can help it. Besides, you do have a good punch at the ball this time, right? Which this might help against. Yes.
Yes, it definitely will.
Yeah. So you can still get at the ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it's a bit harder to cancel all the counter assists.
How does leap and going for it work?
So you still need to roll the go for it for all the extra squares. You can't leap to somewhere where you couldn't get because you don't have the go for it. But if you fail the first one, you will still land in the square that you would have gotten to with the second go for it.
Okay.
So as soon as you leave the ground, you're already determined to land in that square. But if that square is the last 2 extra movements, then you will need to make both go for it before you get to decide whether you land on your feet or on your ass.
So the question here is, do I invest in the screen? Or do
so
I
the thing is,
put pressure?
The thing is, it's turn 11, right?
Yeah.
And that watching the clock is key in Blood Bowl.
I could force you to score, or...
You can't really force me to score, but you can steal the ball, right? Because you got leap and strength 3, which is enough to really give me some trouble with the ball. So if you decide to invest in the screen, that might very well return into it taking longer for me to score, and as a result, you not having time to tie. So I would try to leap with the witch again, but not before marking the players. So actually, you could invest in the screen a little. Exactly that, by putting one guy on that square where you cancel both those assists. And then there's this skink that I just put there that you want to cancel as well. You might as well put the stabber on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because dodge is a great protection against these guys, because they don't have block, which means they need a POW to hit him.
Which I have
now,
the 3
don't forget the leap. Don't forget the leap.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 1 go for the first leap. Blitz.
Blitz. Here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good. Prehensile tail did its trick, but so did dodge. Leap. Yes.
Ah. I will want that.
So he actually failed to go for it, see? He didn't even get to leap yet.
Oh, I failed all just to go for it?
Yeah. Hey Carnage, welcome.
Oh, that time I made the go for it and failed to leap.
Yeah, much better.
Fantastic.
Hello. Blood, you say? That's very interesting. I've heard this Blodge thing.
Heard I'm about to get served.
Yes. There we go.
In that situation, would it have been... Oh, I mean, you would have had to sideline your guy, but couldn't you have saved that blitz for something else by using that?
Yeah, I could have committed to... could have blocked and then put a sidestepper here and surfed diagonally. That's true. But I really wanted to keep my players available because I've got some plans for fatality. I've got some plans for you guys. Yeah, good thing, right? So the main reason that I want to keep my guys around is that I don't plan to score quickly, because scoring quickly is not in my advantage, right?
No.
So what I want to do is I want to score late. And that's something I can do. This guy's got guards, so he can go there. That's something I can do, but not while this annoying little witch is there, right? Because she's got leap, and I've got strength too. Ooh, good turn, this.
I got to clear the field. What am I down to? That's
oh, I've got a skink here.
7 guys on the field.
Yeah, so the thing about lizards is they can get a lot of blocks in. and you're forced to take risks because of how the first half went. As a result, you had to leave yourself pretty exposed. Oh, come on, ref. That's just rubbish. Come on. Just look at her. She's begging for it. Look at that pose even.
Double sixes on the armor break.
Come on. She's so asking for it. So I guess that's your turn.
Alright.
Yeah, so your options are limited. Forcing me to score is not really an option. Getting in position for a last-ditch blitz at the ball. But then the trouble is that your team is has got very little dodge for its team value, right?
Yeah. Which...
Well, you don't know what the goblin's tastes are, Dr. Mombasco. Could very well be into little lizards. Yeah, so at this point I would be considering this game pretty much over. Just the last 2 turns I've thrown some really nasty punches, and your options are being determined by your lack of players.
Yeah.
This helps. So if you had a couple of large sidestep, maybe with a diving tackle or 2, then that could help, right? That's the plan B. Get them close to the ball. Entice me to block your blood sidestep guys. Put them onto the ball, and I've got a problem. That's one way to play this. But then you really need the team first, which this example game just doesn't do. Yeah, you be tripping, man.
That's what, 1, 2, 3. You have me down to 6 people.
Yeah. One of whom is still ambitiously in touchdown terrain.
Ambitiously.
Yes.
Well, I didn't see a point in the off chance that I get my hands on the ball. Having someone down there is better than him being useless up here.
Although at some point, you know, if he's one out of your 11 players, then you don't really miss him.
Yeah.
If he's one out of your 6 players, then you might actually have a better chance at the game if you bring him back in than if you leave him out there. Yeah, so I'm going to be pretty ruthless here and just go with another boot to the witch.
I'm expecting it. Though apparently she just gets stunned.
Yeah, good turn. Yeah, so I really disagree with you there, Hunter. Because if I weaken all my opponents, then they're not going to bother my other opponents anymore. So no, I really don't like to see players' destruction as the aim at all. I mean, I will foul this witch every turn until I've won, but that's because it's a tactical. That's because it's a tactical thing to do, right? Yeah, so that wasn't very fruitful or likely to be.
No.
Although your jump up is scary here. Yeah, so I have no idea why the soundboard just suddenly turned so quietly. I can amp it up in the master volume. I just have to make sure I turn it back down after I revise stuff again.
Skype might have a... I know Skype has a setting where it lowers the rest of your sounds.
Oh, that could be it. But the game sounds are still coming through loudly. So that's weird. I've just doubled the audio levels on the soundboard. See how that works. So I have a lot riding on this file, but with 5 assists, chances are it's going to go through. 8 is good, and then they're stunned. That's fine.
The perm's done.
Yeah, well, you know, as long as I stun her, she's not getting away either. That's a good thing. So if this were a real team, I would have probably handed off to a Saurus by now. Just to skill them.
Yeah.
But you know, this is looking pretty safe. So your options right now are really, really bad. I won't lie.
Yeah, I have no real options here.
I'm giving you some room to like half dice serve. That's interesting. But as long as this witch stays stunned, you've really got a problem. Well, Hunter, not really. I don't think that's quite the case. But thank you for your vote of confidence. Jump up, fail. Fuck. Yeah, not worth a reroll. So you really have to hope that I roll Snake Eyes on the foul and you get to jump up and do something funky there. So I might actually change it up a bit and go here for safety.
I don't like that.
You don't?
No.
Well, in that case, I do.
Could have stayed right there. I was moving in slowly with the witch crawl.
Yes. So let's blitz this guy because he's the only one relevant, and I get 3 dice. There we go. 3rd dice to charm. Put him next to my skink because he's down. If he wasn't going down, I would put him somewhere else. And you know what? I could really use some help around here. What for? I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm sure we can think of something.
You figure something out.
Yeah, you know, just take it as it comes and roll with it. Roll with the punches. Yes. So this is a bit tricky though, because this witch can get a 4+, 4+, 2+ on this guy. I suppose this is better. Maybe not. She's got leap. Actually, I kind of like this setup. Because what's happening now is that she needs leap to get through here. And then, nah, it's not really safe. I'm really screwing this up a little, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this works-ish. I'm gonna go with this. I feel like I'm being pretty sloppy here.
That's a better bet right there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go foul her anyway.
Oh.
Because if this is a stun, at least.
Oh. There you go.
Yep. There we go, indeed. And no send off. So now that she's gone, I don't need him anymore. Because of what I did just now, it looked pretty safe, except we've got a guy here, which I can barely see, who's also got a 4+3+ dodge, and that I can now stop.
Oh, I forgot that guy existed.
Cool. Yeah, so you had that guy, which is why the Croxicor is here.
5, 4...
Where you're at right now, your best bet by far would be the Witch Elf. She's got jump up, so she can blitz. So you want to go not there. I don't know why Cyanide thinks that. Yeah, there. Then in there, which is not a dodge. 3+, 3+, 2+. You can get 1 diagonal out of there. You don't need the second dodge. Doesn't need to be on the skink. Yes, exactly. That looks good. This is pretty good odds. I mean, you've got the dodge skill, which you've already used now.
Oh,
there we go. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I totally gave you that one.
You did.
Reroll. Woo! Good. Ball on the blodger. Way to go. Down. Yeah, so I probably was better in my mega bunker fouling the witch than I was trying to move out of there. Learning experience for us all, yay. So I can
watch me lose the ball here.
I can 3-die the witch. Get the ball. So your guy in scoring range is starting to look like a good investment here.
I should have moved him up too, so I don't have the GFI.
Yeah. Yes, you should have actually. Like 2 turns ago, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, until this, there's no way I can even get the ball to him.
Yeah, unless I went and did silly stuff. Lo and behold. So let us see. I've got just enough guys to make it a 3-die without making go for it. That's the good news. The bad news is it might go out of bounds, or I might just not roll a power in 6 dice. Out of bounds would really suck here though. No pow. Reroll. No pow. That's not bad, right? You got a tie against me. That already puts you in a quite good company, I guess. Just because I can.
No, he got stood up, so you could do that. And it stops people from moving.
So I could do this right, but it doesn't really matter because I've already lost the win. Now I suppose I should probably go and be a bother here. Say hello to your little blitzer there. Right.
Alright, let's see how ugly this goes.
What was that? You just started to game.
Ah!
You made the hardest one, and then you get hopeful.
Yep.
Right. So, do you think you kind of got out of that what you would have liked?
Yeah, I got to see a little bit more on like
stuff.
how to see, or how the offensive I should be looking at it. I think one of the big issues, like playing Skaven, I go for a lot of the two-turn touchdowns.
2-turn touchdowns are not the problem.
It's the 8.
It's not making them. Yeah, exactly. Especially with Skaven, you know, if you can limit yourself to your turn 8 touchdown, then you can probably make a turn 16 one as well with a 1-turn touchdown, which means they break the status quo that I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this was fun. Thanks for joining in and on co-streaming a bit here.
No problem. It was a learning experience. It's what I've been looking forward to. So.